Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're having a blessed week so far. It's only 90s this week in Texas compared to 110 last week, so that's a blessing right there. I'm so thankful it's cooled down just a little bit. Yes, 90, the high 90s still hot, but man, it's more than 10 degrees than it was last week. This week I'm going to be speaking on praying and rejoicing, always, praying without ceasing, being and then at the end of the week we'll talk about thanking. So at the beginning of the week I'm talking about asking, or we're petitioning God because we're depending on Him. And on Friday we'll talk more about the Thanksgiving part. Now I'm doing this because on Friday, September 1st, we're starting our 21-day prayer leading up to and through our encounter event at Lake Point. That is on September 19th, 20th, and 21st. You can get more information, and you can actually get the guided prayer digital copy of the booklet at lp.events. That's lp.events, and you can click on the encounter, and you can sign up to go to that, or you can get the digital and get that guided prayer. And it's pretty neat, and we'll go through that more on Friday, what that book looks like. But I suggest you going through that. But I'm going to go through First Thessalonians 5, 6 through 18. Real short verses, but they're powerful. It says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, giving thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you." This is God's will. He wants us to be always rejoicing, praying without ceasing, and always giving thanks in everything and anything, right? But like pray without ceasing to me is more about attitude. It's more about attitude than your actual time spent. It's not saying all day be in these long, lengthy prayers with God. It's your attitude, always being thankful and that He's always around. It's not so much like your exact words you're using. Like you have to use these certain words, or like how long you're talking to Him, how many things you're saying. God knows what's on your heart, and He even knows it before you approach Him in prayer. But He wants you to approach Him. He wants you to be there and ask Him for things. He wants you to address Him with these things. Jesus actually addresses like this same topic in Matthew 6, right before He gives us the Lord's Prayer. He's teaching us, hey, this is how you should pray. He talks about it's not all about all the words you say, and you shouldn't be doing it just for for people to see you, or just talking for long amounts of time. He knows what's on your heart. Just tell Him, conversate, just regular conversation. Tell Him what you need, ask Him what you need, and then thank Him for what He's given you. So like a prayer to me, it's like it's the believer's dependence on God. When we're talking about like just growing our dependence in God, we're asking Him to do what only He can do. We're expressing our need, and we're knowing that we can't meet these needs on our own. We're acknowledging that we are depending on Him for this. Like we understand that God's right here with us. So when it says, like, always be thankful for Him, pray without ceasing, like He's telling us, rejoice always, thank Him always, because He's always right there with you. He's always there with you, helping and guiding you along. Like you understanding that and believing that He's right there with you. That's so important. Our lives are continually being turned towards God. Like throughout our day, we're asking Him, hey, God, can you guide me through this? Or like, hey, how do I think that God's wanting me to approach this? And then when things come up, maybe like taking the time and waiting and praying about like some choices you have in your life. Like, which way should I go? How should I do it? How should I address that? Like always bringing that. And then putting those things into His hands, giving them to God. Like not worrying about everything, but instead praying about everything. Telling Him like what you need, and then thanking Him what He's done. Like Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. He's saying like, always just don't worry about it. Give it to God and trust Him. He'll do that. And towards the end of the week, on Friday, we're going to talk about like making sure you're thanking Him. We're depending on Him. We're asking Him to do all these things. Wanting Him to deliver me from this. Help me with this. Do this. But then when He does it, sometimes we forget. We forget to thank Him. So on Friday, we're going to dig more into thanking Him always. So just always remember, God's always there with you. He's wanting you to continually bring things to Him. Rejoicing in Him. Counting your blessings like it's only 90, like in a high 90s day instead of 110 last week. Like every little thing, just thanking Him for it. And rejoicing in those blessings. And then petitioning to him your needs. He knows them, but petitioning to him what you have. Now remember, I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. I hope you all have a blessed week. And I can't wait to talk to you all on Friday.